welcome to the beginning of our first meeting of the February committee meeting of the February 28th meeting of the Waste Reduction and Recycling Committee. I want to, all right, we got, all right. So we got everybody, yay. Okay. I'm not sure if I should continue doing, well. Oh.
Andy, do you have the script to read about at the beginning of Zoom meetings?
Yeah, I meant to,
I think we can just read what's on the top of the agenda. That covers us.
okay. Open. Please note that the Waste Reduction and Recycling Committee will hold a regular board meeting beginning at 7 p.m. using the Zoom meeting ID and password above. A copy of the Grafton Public Meeting Remote Participation Guidelines are available on the town website for reference. And with that, I'm just gonna call the order. So first is Sherilyn.
Here.
Kevin?
Gallagher here.
And Andy Jefferson?
Jefferson here.
And Mara here. So we're all here. So with that, let's jump in and get started. Do we want to start with the Black Earth discussion, or do we want to start with going over other goals? Like, should we?
I think we may as well start with the Black Earth update and then give William and Anne Marie the rest of their night back.
Yeah, okay, sounds good.
Excellent. Well, thank you for having us, first of all. Happy to come and talk to you about composting. So we have sort of a quick one-page overview that was presented to the select board a few weeks ago. If you'd like, we can run this committee through that and then which will outline what the plan is, and then we can give just sort of a general status update. Or we can just talk about it, whichever the committee would prefer.
Well, first we can do the status update. And I think part of it is that we want to get involved in that process, so it's not just you guys taking it on. So however else we want to integrate us into that process. So if you want to first present what you presented before, we were already interested in this project, so it's not like you need to convince us of anything.
Okay. I'll share this document and I'll just sort of give you the rough overview, and just so everybody's on the same page.
Okay.
All right, can everybody see this screen here? All right. So the town of Grafton has been exploring the feasibility of a composting program to reduce organics in the waste stream. We have been talking with Black Earth Composting to manage the program, as they've already got about 50 subscribers here in Grafton. So essentially what we're looking to do is sign on to essentially their bulk town-sized program. We currently have about $31,000 in state recycling dividend program grant money, or RDP for short. In talking to Black Earth and talking to the select board and talking to some people involved, we're going to start with 2 pallets of composting bins, which will give us about 168 for about $4,200. The starting cost for weekly pickups for residents in the town is $115 per 6 months, or about $230 a year. We're going to be making a big push at the beginning of the program to try to get the town up to 500 subscribers. That decreases the cost to essentially $80 every 6 months, or $160 a year. Our goal with this is to develop a user-friendly and appealing program for residents to sign on to, and overall to reduce organics in the waste stream, which would reduce the cumulative cost of waste management in the town of Grafton. Just since we've started talking about it, there seems to be a lot of interest in the program. So I don't think this risk we have here is very large anymore. It seems like quite a few residents are interested in the program. In terms of publication and awareness, we have been talking with IBA Printing in Millbury. They're able to do 4x6 bulk mailer postcards to the residents of Grafton, and we can use grant money for that. But we're running down that, and we're currently in the process of developing the postcard. We're also going to be using all town social medias and the website as we normally do. Black Earth Composting also has some of their own publications, including lawn signs that participants of the program can buy. The town doesn't intend to buy any of those, but they will be available. And that is the quick and dirty version of what we presented to the select board. For a quick status update, like I mentioned, we've been talking to IBA Printing in Millbury. We do a lot of work with them already. So our representative there, Julie, I want to say, is aware of our needs. We're in the process of designing the postcard and getting a quote. Our hope is to get that out in the next 2 weeks or so. We've been talking to Connor at Black Earth Composting. Initially, we were planning to have the bins lettered with the town of Grafton seal. That pushes the project out by several months, in all honesty, because they've got to custom order them. So we're going to get the plain green Black Earth composting bins. They have, I think they said 500 to 1,000 on hand right now. So once we get the order placed, we should have them shortly. Everybody who signs up is going to go directly through Black Earth Composting. We can get a copy of their sign-up email so we know who to expect, and we're going to plan to hand out the bins ourselves. Which I think Andy and I were talking earlier is where we might want to loop in this committee a little bit in the actual distribution of the bins, just so they're not taking up space in Kevin's office at the DPW barn.
Kevin's
So they're
face.
they're not taking up space in your office, Kevin.
Kevin,
No.
I'll tell you that for the last 2 years, I've been doing it out of here. So they don't take up too much space. You stack them up, and in terms of giving them out, you just put, one of us can do it, like you said, just put the two the liners in the bins, and they're ready to rock and roll. People would just come and pick them up from my driveway. I can hold some for you.
We
Kevin.
have, do we know what they look like? Like the
Yeah.
sizing and stuff?
Yeah, I could
Like,
go.
is
I have one here. I just brought it in today because today's the day for it. I don't. Sorry.
They're
Oh my
about
God,
the,
it just heard me. She's gonna bring it up. Yep.
they're about the size of a 5-gallon bucket, right, Anne Marie?
I don't know how much a gallon is. I'm not.
We're also kidding about keeping him in your office, Kevin. They're not going there.
Oh, obviously, it's just everybody. It's terrible to say. It's like we're always at the bottom of the food chain. Everybody always like, oh yeah, we'll just keep everything up at the DPW. No problem. And it's like,
And by the way,
obviously, this is definitely part of our. This should fall under our umbrella. I just want to make sure that this.
measuring.
Oh, good grief. Those are tiny.
No, that was the one that's in my kitchen. I'm gonna measure this for you, so because I don't think you're gonna be able to for size. There it is.
Okay.
But we'll got my assistant here to measure it. But I will say, just so you know, Kevin, I've stored them outside here the whole time, or for the rest of the committee.
Well, see,
I don't have
that's the problem too. If you store them outside, we don't have the most honest people around here. So we're gonna have to find something to put them in,
Just an idea. I mean,
you know? Yeah, so
So-
they don't get
What's that?
legs and walk away.
No, so again, I believe the plan is we're gonna store them at the municipal center and then hopefully do one large distribution day.
Okay, okay. So just so you know, sorry, the height is 23.5 inches, so just less than 2 feet. And it's 15 by 14 in terms of the top, you know, the width
Okay.
and so they're pretty compact. And what I've done is just out behind my house, I just stack up about 10, you know, at a time.
Cool, okay. All right, and how many are we expecting in this first run?
Well, it sounds
Uh,
like, sorry, what Will said was maybe 2 pallets, so I think it's 84 per pallet, so 168.
Oh,
Yep,
that's
so
not, okay,
the tentative plan I was talking to Evan is, we'll find a place for them at the municipal center. And then, potentially depending on how quickly we get signups, do a distribution event day type thing out of the gym in the municipal center. Let people come in, pick them up, go, they can grab their liners. We do intend to give 3 or 4 rolls of liners with each bin. We estimate that might last a year or a little under, and we'll keep record of people who we need to give more to.
Okay.
Our plan is to give out a year's worth of liners to the first 500 people who sign up.
Awesome. And then just so you guys know, I don't know if you want all this information, but this is what I have on my counter. And that's like the
oh,
little,
okay, those are similar to the ones, like when we did the composting bins previously.
okay,
Those are like the little ones that we used to give out with the composting bins that the town used to provide for.
and then the liners, like my neighbor, she uses my bin. We just share one, to be honest, because you'll find that I'm probably not supposed to say this on live, but so she just buys the liners for herself, you know what I mean? And so you can get them on wherever, all sorts of places, no doubt. And you don't really need a little bin necessarily, but that's just the way I do it. I put a liner in my bin and I keep that in the garage. And then I have this little guy on my counter and I've got a little liner in there. And all my liners are from Black Earth, but you can get them, I think, anywhere you want.
All right, excellent. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page here and everything is kind of organized and kept in the same spot and we're all on the same page. That's all.
Well, I think if the town does a rollout like Will is talking about, like, we kind of do this big media blast for it, then perhaps, the hope would be that maybe you get the first, 50 people that go to the municipal center and they deal with it there. And then it'll be kind of the trickling in folks. It'll be a little easier subsequently. That's what happened when,
Sure.
like, I kind of got it started. Yeah.
Sure, and I don't want to make it sound like we don't want any part of this. We don't want to help
Okay.
out or anything. I don't want to make it sound like that.
No.
I just want to make sure that it's just we're properly organized, and I just don't want it to be like all scattered. This stuff here and this stuff there. I just want to make sure we're all on the same page, and I know where everything is.
And I can tell you guys, because I think I had 50 bins here to start at some point. So now that Will and Evan have talked about scaling it back in terms, because I think you guys were going to go for it initially. So I think the 2 pallets, 2 times 84, it won't be a ton of space.
No, that's nothing. That's nothing. Yeah, no sweat at all.
Yeah, and Kevin, to your point, I'd say we're about 90% on all of this. At the moment, it is just coordinating final logistics. So that way, when we hit go, everything runs smoothly.
Perfect. And even, like we can help out too, as far as the distribution goes, almost as far as, like when we did the rain barrels.
Yep.
Yeah.
We can almost run it the same way as that.
Yeah.
Like how we had the whole list of the people and we just had the people come up to the DPW garage and we had the door open, and they just pulled in and they just ran around like a circle,
Yeah,
And we had everything right by the door there, pulled in, check your name off. Here's your bin. Take off. Boom, done.
Yep. That'd be
You know,
perfect.
it was like a well-oiled machine, you know? So I'd rather that. And I think it would honestly be easier for the public that way too.
Mhm.
That's perfect.
Yeah.
So, well, whatever.
Let me make a note, Kevin, and I will touch base with you tomorrow on getting that put together.
Well, Will, you know how much I love talking to you during the day, man.
Everybody does.
Yep.
Do any of you guys have any questions in terms of just the logistics of actually doing it? Because I've been doing it for a couple of years, or you guys know what you know.
So is there now, or is there going to be after the Media Blitz, a link through on the town website through to Black Earth to sign up?
Yep.
Okay,
Yep.
is there,
Oops, sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
I guess I should have asked that as two questions because you answered yes, so I don't know if that is, if yes, there is now, or yes, there's going to be.
Yes, there is going to be.
Okay.
It's just going to be the general sign up. I don't believe they do town specific signups. So it'll be their general link, and we'll have that plastered everywhere.
Just so you guys know, so basically that folks who are signing up now, they're saving about $38. The startup kit is I shouldn't say about, it's $38. That's what the rest of us paid. And that gave you a bin and I forget how many liners. The liners last a long time, especially the big ones. You just use one every 2 weeks, pretty much. I do have someone on my street who they create a lot, and so they end up getting a second bin. And I don't think that they pay, I forget how that worked. It wasn't too bad of a deal. I think they had to pay for the startup kit, but I'm not sure if they pay extra for the pickup. It might just be the one pickup for them, which isn't bad. And they're producing like next to no trash. They're really going all at it. They take pizza boxes, eggshells, coffee grounds, tea bags, meat bones. Those are the things that like you might not put in your trash or your recycling bin. And I have chickens. Those are things like I also don't put out to the chickens. Peels, banana peels. Some people put those down their disposal. I don't, but like orange peels, any kind of peels like that. It's a pretty extensive list, as a matter of fact. Grease, like bacon grease. You just put it in the jar or whatever jar a can or something, and you just put it on top of your bin. They take that as well. Trying to think of like random things that help me that are extra. Plants, like like plant waste. But if you have a garden, you probably don't worry about that. But like my indoor plants, I just put any of the extra leaves in there.
It will.
Yeah.
Rewinding back to the cards that you were talking about. What information is going to be on these again?
So our plan right at the moment is to put the link to sign up, the cost, what they're going to get. So like Anne Marie said, the startup bin and the packages of liners. And I spoke to Andy about getting a graphic put together for it. But we can put anything we want on there if there's something in particular.
Okay, because I know we as the DPW, Chris and I, Cindy included, and your office, excuse me, will be getting the brunt of the calls. With people inquiring about this. So I'm thinking if we have like a stack of these, right in, at our service window as well, next to the business cards and stuff,
Yep.
That'll be a solid thing to have just there for information when people are coming in, getting brush dump stickers and things like that, and it's good to just have that there when people are just asking information, just so I have that ready to go as well.
I think that is an excellent point, and we'll get some additional ones from IBA to keep in your office and ours.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And I think it's great, Will, that we're not doing any of the graphics on the bins, because I know that was an upcharge. And to be honest, people go by and they ask because it says Black Earth Compost, they're small. So people know it's something different. So I don't think it's necessary to spend extra money that we, on the. And then I can ask Connor about, because he had offered to anyone that was in the program, maybe, I don't know how long ago, if we wanted the lawn thingies. So I have a couple, the lawn.
Okay.
things. So maybe we could, hit them up for 10, just, it's benefiting their business, not us, right? So,
Well, long term, hopefully it benefits us, with
sure,
less
yeah.
waste output.
Right, but right.
Right.
Like the actual
But then,
financial. Oh, and an important aside is that you also, anyone who's in the program gets a free bag of compost every spring from our compost that we created. And so the closest, I'm not sure, there's a bunch of places where you can go pick it up, but for me, the closest one, it's right next to 495 there. I don't know if it's called Angels. It's where they have, the pizza pop up and the coffee barn place. Just before 495, there's a couple of nurseries there. That's where I get mine. There might be one in Shrewsbury too. I'm not quite sure. So they're not
Like
everywhere, but you can go.
Red Barn Coffee Roasters or something like that.
Yeah, right there. They
Yeah, I
carry.
drive by that place all the time.
Yeah, so basically you get a coupon. They send you a coupon. You go in there and you get your free bag of compost.
Yeah, all in all, I think that this is going to be a really good program for the town. I'm happy with how it's turning out. It's been fun working with Anne Marie on getting this off the ground. And like Andy said, I think in the long run, it will be good.
Yep, I agree.
I tell you, folks who have been doing it, they're pretty stoked. They talk to me about, oh my gosh, I'm only doing one bag of trash a month. It becomes a thing, where you're trying to create as little waste as possible, which is the mission of this committee. All right, thanks.
Excellent. Any more questions we can answer on this?
I mean, if nobody else has any, I think at the very least, we should all definitely keep in contact. So, any way that the committee can support you, if you come up with any additional ideas, or if we come up with any additional ideas to help promote, we'll just make sure we keep in contact on those things and set it all up for success.
Okay, we can do that.
One more, I had just like one more thought, Will. As far as those card stocks go, people are going to want to know where that compost can be picked up. And so that might be, if it can, I mean, I know this is going to be a lot of information, but that might be a neat little blurb if it can fit, somewhere like in the spring, your compost can be available at X, Y, and Z,
Yeah, I can. Well, I'm sorry, go ahead, Andy.
Logistical question. So Anne-Marie, when you get those coupons, like, do they send you a pamphlet that tells you what's available, or do they already have a link so that you can go in, like type in your zip code and it tells you where to go?
Yeah, I just went on the website, and I probably haven't gone on again because I drive that way. So I just know that's a spot.
Yep.
But no doubt it's on the website. And early on, there were only a couple, and that was the closest. But we could look at that, surely.
Well, yeah, because I mean, we could easily include the link on there so that
Yeah.
people can go and check what's most convenient for them. Yeah.
Perfect. It's just, I'm just trying to think ahead of all the questions that we're going to get. And if I can just simply hand a card and be like, all of your answers are right here. This is your golden ticket. It'd be perfect,
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure we can look that up, at least put either the link and or the two closest sites to here.
And that's it.
Yeah.
Even if it's just the link and then it just opens it all up, and then that's it.
And I might be misspeaking because it might come through via an email. that is the way we get our coupon, and you print it. And it may in fact have that on there, but I think I went to the site is what I'm remembering. And they're a North Shore based company, so there aren't a ton of, sites out here to pick it up, but there's certainly enough that you can get there pretty quickly. And if we get 500 people, I don't know, I haven't asked Connor this, but maybe they deliver. Although Kevin want that in his office. Never mind.
Do a drive-through dirt day.
It's good compost too, I'll tell you.
Anybody, any additional questions or anything, or we can let them go and enjoy their night.
Okay. We will, Andy, I will keep you and Marie and everybody else in the loop as we move forward.
Okay, sounds good.
Awesome. Thank you both for coming. This super informative, and for the rest of the committee, there's some new info in there. So awesome stuff. Thank you both.
Yeah, thank you both. Thank you both for joining us.
Thank you.
And good night. Yeah. Okay. So I guess moving on, do we want to start talking about holiday ideas? Like outreach for St. Patty's Day and or Earth Day?
So I didn't put anything together for Earth Day. Can you enable screen sharing?
Well, William was able to, right?
Yeah, it's telling me it's been disabled.
Oh, I think it's because you're not a I'll just do it, see if that helps.
Yep, there it goes. Thank you.
Yep.
Wait 1 sec. So I did 2 for St. Patrick's Day. Sherilyn had had kind of joked that it could be something like this. So I just tried to come up with something cute. And I figured in a post like this would be more focused on awareness for like Buy Nothing Grafton, or I mean, I would think we'd probably try and promote that. We could also add any donation bin locations if we wanted to, but we can discuss that. To me, I feel like I'd rather promote kind of that local one-to-one connection as opposed to the drop off. But again, that's up to everybody else. And the other one, and I'm it's great that we have a committee to run ideas by, because I don't, I worry sometimes that there are like stereotypes and cultural insensitivities and kind of folklore. So I went with like the driving the snakes out of Ireland theme here, and drive the contaminants out of your bin. So we got like a couple little snakes floating around, but just a bunch of stuff that does not obviously belong there. I feel like I tend to be a person who's pretty easygoing, and I don't tend to get offended by a lot. So I try to be hyper aware of what other people could be offended by. I'm not Irish, so I don't know, because I know it is supposed to be a fable that he drove the snakes out, and kind of a metaphor. So I didn't know if that would anger the Irish crowd at all. And I don't know if you guys did either. So
being Irish, that's confusing as all hell to me.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, as an Irish person, it was pretty confusing. I was like, what?
I was
Yeah,
gonna
I'm
say,
like,
I'm
what-
Irish. I'm
what-
actually an Irish citizen and I'm not easily offended by something like that. So that's my
I'm not
2 cents.
offended at all,
Thank
but
you.
I was like, what is that?
Yeah. And almost if you were like drive the snakes, but like try to make it clear that it was sarcastic out of your bin would make it more clear the connection, I think. But I also see that would could also mean driving the actual animals out of your bin. So
And since the snakes are representative of the pagans, that is not necessarily. I don't know that there would be part of our population that would be offended by that.
Well, we
Nope.
can, if that one's not working, we can, this is an easy substitution, or we have time. I mean, if we do, I think I looked at the calendar and we could still do the second week of March and have something ready before St. Patrick's Day. I think I timed that out. But yeah, I mean, if you're cool with this one, then we can just work on promoting Buy Nothing, and as a resource opposed to throwing something out.
Yeah,
yeah, I like that idea.
Yeah,
All right. And if I hope you're all following the town social, so you can see as they go up, but I had reached out to William. We got a post up today and I just drafted it, the copy to go with it, and let people know that we'd start a bi-weekly series of Waste Reduction Wednesdays and share, tips and best practices and stuff from the group. So we're like officially go on some social media outreach.
Okay, sweet. We can put the Black Earth outreach on there too.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. And I honestly was half thinking about that as we were discussing it, that it gives us, I know there's plenty of discussion points that we can have about good recycling practices and what doesn't belong in your bin, but it really opens up the topics of discussion too. Now that we can include good composting habits after the initial launch and promotion and everything. Yeah, it should give us plenty of content.
Okay, sounds good. Did anybody have any other ideas for anything else for St. Patty's Day, or should we move on to getting a draft for Earth Day? Or just to keep getting like the juices flowing on that, like how Sherilyn's excellent adage from earlier last month is now our poster for St. Patty's Day. So does anybody have anything to throw out there at all for Earth Day?
I didn't have anything yet,
Yeah.
like for social ideas. And I think we should start trying to figure out what community events are going on. I feel like those are probably in the works right now. People are discussing those and timing.
Right.
So that's probably something we're going to want to do is find out what's available out there that we can help promote.
what a lot of people don't know is we have yellow trash bags available at the DPW garage. They're literally right below the service counter and they're wire tied and ready to go. They're like 3 or 4 bags at a time. So if somebody comes in to the DPW garage, Chris is right there, ready to go, reach down and give them out. And all they have to do is drop an email or a phone call and be like, hey, I picked up this trash. This is where it is. And we'll go grab it.
I've used
You
it a
know?
ton, Kevin. I can attest to it. It's awesome. I have some in my garage.
Yeah. So, I mean, and this started, at Earth Day. Every year I would always get a box or two, and it's slowly been growing and growing and growing to now it's kind of almost a year-round thing. And I've got people now coming in almost every other week, and we're picking up yellow trash bags all the time. So, but yeah, it's a nothing, I order the bags and we just bundle them up and they're just ready to go. So that can be thrown out there as well, just to let people know they're good and ready to go right up at the DPW garage.
Yeah, and I had forgotten that we do the townwide Earth Day cleanup. So yeah, maybe we can help publicize that. And
Yeah. Which department spearheads that?
It's basically us. Yeah, kind of, sort of. Helen Blazes
Yeah, I
is
put
a
yeah.
she does a lot of volunteer work with her and her colleagues, as far as distributing the seedling. I'll get seedlings every year,
Mhm.
and we'll get those in water, and a couple of different species of trees and everything, and get the bags and everything, and she breaks them all apart and distributes those out in the common to the people along with the bags and everything. She really does a lot. And
Kick me off, by the way, if you want.
what's that?
Sorry, I was just thinking I'm commenting, but you can kick me off and I can raise my hand if you want me to do it that way.
Oh, go ahead, do your thing.
No, sorry, but I'm just saying I probably should. I don't know how you guys run these. I can just tell you, Helen Blazes and the Grafton Garden Club do the Earth Day every year.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you're right, Kevin. We get the yellow bags from DPW, and then we just go and we clean and we call them and we give them locations. And up on the common, to Kevin's point, usually the garden club has a plant sale that day sometimes in conjunction with giving out those little seedlings. Usually the Girl Scouts or Boy Scouts are up there. Pepperoni Express usually gives free pizza slices, a coupon. Swirls and Scoops gives a coupon. You go down there. So it's a whole big day. There's a number of donors that give coupons. So after you do all the cleanup, you go get pizza, you go get an ice cream. It's great. I don't know what Helen's in a similar circumstance as me this year. So I don't know where she's at in terms of her volunteering, but the Grafton Garden Club, you could reach out
Okay.
to them.
That was the club. It was just slipping my mind. I couldn't remember, but I just know I always deal right with Helen every time. So
So is that a private club or a government club? Like
It's
Yeah,
not
Garden.
it's not through the town per se. It's just
yeah,
a
okay. That's what
yeah,
I
it's like the
okay. So
League
we
of
don't have a
Women.
town one and they do their thing.
I don't think so. No, they don't have formal meetings or anything like that.
Yeah. Um
I'm just curious. Sorry, Kevin, do you have any idea how many bags you guys get that day?
oh, it's grown every year. Before, what used to happen was I'm friends with Doug Jones, from the Mass DOT because he used to get the awesome, really heavy, good yellow bags. And I always used to call in a favor. I'd be like, hey man, just get me a bag, get me a case of the good bags. And I always used to feel bad. And then one case turned into two, and then two into three. And then I started feeling really bad. And then last year turned into the, all right, dude, where do you buy these cases? I can't, I have to start buying these myself. So yeah, so now we're getting like copious amounts. So I'm getting them right from Granger and we're paying for them ourselves. Which is a good thing, you know, because a lot more people are participating in this. So
I usually
But
do just
I-
from Bruce Street down, I think that's Old Upton, right? Bruce Street, Old Upton, just to the split where it's, I forget that road there that splits with.
Hullard,
Small- Sorry?
Hullard,
No, I'm like on Old Upton, but anyway, I don't go far and I think I get 4 or 5 bags full.
it's the same people and you'll end up picking the same
Golf course.
nips.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, that was all good information. So I can reach out to Helen and get more information about like how they do their outreach, because I've actually not actually heard about their plant sale. Do they just have the signs in the common, probably? We might
Yeah, I
wanna-
think they probably put it on, I'm trying to think if she's on social. She sends a lot of stuff to me, so I don't think she's on Facebook, so I try to put on Facebook for her.
Well, if you want to send that over to us, we can
Sure.
have the town. We can have, well, actually, yeah, you could send it over to William directly, right? Because that's how we would, he's the one who runs the,
Yeah, I would think it would be on the town calendar. I'm not quite sure. It's run ever since I've lived here, I think. And it's not a big to do. It's kind of how they fundraise
yeah.
for their own little, yeah.
I guess that actually leads me to just a question about our town Facebook page. So we using it for promoting private events? Because that's what that would.
I don't know.
be,
I'm
right?
not involved in that.
Yeah,
But
well,
it's a
it's-
small plant sale and it's basically just the members. It's actually a great spot if you're looking for plants because it's just the members who dig them up. There's, things from their own garden, inexpensive and great plants. My plug for them. It's probably just, 4 tables or thereabouts, or, it's not huge down the common.
Okay.
I'm not in the plant clubs or the Grafton plant club, so I'm not here to advertise for them.
Right.
It's not a paid advertisement.
All right. I'm not sure where that leaves us for that. So we should definitely be promoting the yellow trash bags. Yeah, we should. I'm gonna reach out to her and see how much what we can get to see if we can promote stuff. Or
I sent a message. They just got back to me. So it's Saturday, April 22nd is the day they're planning on, which actually might be Earth Day. I'm not sure. Bags will probably be available at the DPW the week before and the common the morning of.
okay, that was fast. Thank you. So we should put that up, but that's obviously not gonna go until mid-April. So I guess that's good for now for the holiday outreach. So I think we should move on to reviewing the minutes from the January meeting, unless someone had anything else they wanted to add.
Mm,
Okay, so I just glanced through them this morning and I didn't see really anything I wanted to change. I can pull them back up. Does anyone else have any opinions or additions or changes they'd like to make to the minutes?
There's a sentence in new business that the grammar makes no sense. Ms. Reno added that we could include electronics recycling events outreach a priority as well. Maybe we could make electronics recycling events outreach a priority as well.
I'm opening that up now.
Yeah, looks like there's a missing an as.
Where are we?
The
New
bot-
business,
five.
the sentence that starts with my name.
Okay.
So like an as between outreach and
Yep.
So beyond that, anything else anybody sees?
That's the only thing I saw.
Okay. Does someone want to make a motion?
Yeah, I moved the committee vote to approve the meeting minutes for January 18th as amended.
Second,
I hear a motion in a second. Any discussion? Hearing none. Sherilyn,
aye.
Kevin,
Gallagher, aye.
Andy Jefferson,
Jefferson, aye.
and I vote aye. Motion passed. Unanimously, yay. So was there any new business anybody wanted to bring up? No?
No,
Think we're ready to end the night?
motion to adjourn at 7:53.
Second,
I hear a motion and a second. Any discussion on the motion? Or is this one that can't be discussed?
No, you can discuss it.
Okay.
Nobody usually complains about adjournment or
Yeah.
offers a counter argument to stick around, but we could.
Okay. Motion to vote, Sherilyn Reno,
Aye.
Kevin Gallagher,
Gallagher, aye.
Andy Jefferson,
Jefferson, aye.
and I vote aye. Meeting adjourned.